Okay, my name is Martin Seeger and I'm CEO of El-Kretsen, a collective scheme for electronic waste and batteries in Sweden. And as Chairman say, I will give a presentation of how we implemented the producer responsibility in practice in Sweden. And since we have a tight time schedule, I will keep the pace and give you just a brief view of our activities, but the presentation will be available from the organizers. So to start with some facts about our company, we are a non-profit private company with only 14 employees. We have 1,700 affiliated producers, which are manufacturers or mostly in Sweden case importers of electronic equipment and batteries. One of these producers, IKEA, is present here today. Our turnover last year was 50 million euros, and since we are a non-profit organization, this is also equivalent to our total cost of all of operation, all the collection and recycling. We were founded in 2001 when the legislation was implemented in Sweden. And the basic idea is that the producer pays us to solve their obligation regarding this producer responsibility. And the keywords is solidarity. Everyone should be, all the producers should be in the system. The treatment should be correct. And of course, this should be done cost effectivity. That's the idea to do this as a collective scheme. The service we provide to the producer is administration connected to the legislation. We, of course, is a competence center for everything regarding recycling, but most important, we have this national collection system for electronic equipment and batteries. And since we are only 14 employees, you can easily understand that this is not done by ourselves. It's done through cooperation and by procurements where we buy all the services regarding collection, transportation, and recycling. And we buy these services from private actors or municipalities. And in total, last year, we collected 150,000 tons of electronic products and batteries for recycling. And one important role we have is the surveillance of this. We monitor the system. That's maybe our biggest responsibility, to make sure everything is done correctly and that all products collected are accounted. The financing, the basic idea when this was founded was that the producer should pay and cover all our costs, because no one thought that there would be so much values in the material we collected. But today, 2/3 of our incomes come from material values, steel, copper, aluminium, precious metals, which we recycle from the products we collect. And only 1/3 of our income is taken from the producers. And how we get this money is that we have a price list, and when producer puts a product on the market, they pay us a fee depending on what type of product they put on the market. The collection system is spread all over the country, and since 90% of the population live in the southern half, most of the collection points are also where people live, of course. And the base of our collection system is the municipal collection centers, which are about 600 in Sweden. And we also have about 10,000 small collection sites for batteries. And we also collect from retailers, and we have some pickup services for business-to-business customers. And this is a picture of a municipal collection site, which are one of these 600 all over Sweden. And this is the normal consumer behavior in Sweden, that people take all their waste to one place where they can get rid of everything at once. So that's where we have the base, and 90% of the products we collect comes from these 600 collection centers. We also have some local initiatives. You saw some of this in Mr. Mikkelson's presentation. This is for small equipment to get closer to the consumer, retailers, or even in households. There are some collection. The lorry you see in the down left corner is for fast populated areas in northern Sweden, where it is traveled from village to village to collect. Actually quite effective for these type of areas. Of course, we need a lot of containers, bins, and cages. We have about 50,000 to run the systems. Logistics is a big challenge for us, since we have a quite big country with not that much population, but that will be nothing against the challenge Russia would stand for when you build this type of systems. And for that, we also need specialized vehicles to get effective transport. And we need to have surveillance and monitor every movement through the collection system to make sure that everything goes to the right place, is treated correctly, and accounted for when we report our figures to the government. This is done by barcodes. That's what you see in the small picture to the left. So once everything is collected and transported to recycling facilities, the first objective is to have a safe handling of all health and environmentally hazardous substances. We have the cooling agent from the free cooling appliances, which is a powerful climate gas and also bad for the ozone layer. And then you have all the heavy metals, mercury, lead, and so on, which need to be taken care of safely. That's the first objective and what we do first when these products reach the recycling state facilities. And then the second objective is to reuse both products or components, something which grows bigger and bigger, and then recycle all the materials to new resources to get as much value from the waste as possible. And it's also, of course, for environmental, because it's much more energy effective to recycle than take it from the mines. And
Mr. Seeger?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a final word, just please say it and we'll continue.
Yeah, then we just go through the last pages. And one tip for you, if you want to read more, because this was very briefly, the Swedish EPA, Mr. Mikkelson and his colleagues has made a report about all producer responsibility systems in Sweden. And best of all, it's also available in Russian. So there's a link in my presentation which is available, and you have my contact details. So thank you for the attention.
Thank you very much. And you've seen presentations of Leningrad region and Kaliningrad region. Would you like to bring your technology of recycling of electrical batteries to Russia and open branches?
Yeah, it was interesting to see both the Leningrad and the Kaliningrad presentation and how you are trying to solve this. And I think it's important to look at what is the normal consumer behavior. How do you easiest reach the consumer? Because the most important is to get the material in, then take the challenge to recycle it. But the first thing is to get it in, and you shouldn't just copy the Swedish system. You should look at what's the best way for Russia or for the specific city you're in. So it's really interesting, and I think there's a lot of things we can learn from each other, actually.